Your hard work is paid off. Your leads have turned into paying clients or customers. But just because the sale is done doesn't mean you should stop converting.
We're finishing out our 3-part marketing funnel series with the bottom of the funnel. We're talking about how the work isn't quite over after the conversion and how you can create loyal customers who come back for more.
Being an online business owner is full of ups and downs. Some days you can't imagine going back to your 9-to-5, and other days you want to burn your whole business to the ground. We get it.
Welcome to Chaos to Conversions, a podcast of practical, no BS strategies to grow your online business. Each week, we're chatting about launching, copywriting, mindset, and more, so you can make sense of the chaos and do more of what works.
Join the conversation and let's grow together.
Welcome back to Chaos to Conversions. We are finishing out our marketing funnel series. This is episode 3. If you want to tune into the other episodes, in 47, we talk about the top of funnel, which is kind of building your audience, bringing them into your space, making them aware of what you do and who you are. Episode 50, we talked about middle of funnel, which is really building that know, like, and trust factor to warm them up and convert them to the bottom of the funnel, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
So let's have a quick recap on what the bottom of the funnel actually is. So this is where your audience becomes customers and gives you some money and make a real life purchase in your business. It's very exciting. I don't know about you, Branda, but do you remember your first, I remember my first client, of course, but also even when I made my first digital sale, it was very exciting. So it's the bottom of the funnel is a fun, obviously, place to be because it's where the money is. So a lot of people spend a lot of time at the top of the funnel, and then they'll spend a good amount of time in the middle of the funnel once they're on your email list or within your welcome sequence. But when it comes to the bottom of the funnel, even though they've already made a purchase or they're about to make a purchase from you, we don't want to miss out on some of the other major opportunities for them to become repeat customers, because once they decide and move out of the consideration phase of the middle of the funnel and make a purchase from you, they've shown that they trust us. So you need to make sure that you can continue building and maintaining that trust to keep people coming back for more. And I feel like not to toot Brandon and I's own horns, but we have a lot. I was thinking about this the other day. We have a lot of repeat customers, especially for me with strategy sessions, which back in November when I had one of my Black Friday offers was one-on-one strategy sessions. 4 of the 5 people that booked were all repeat customers that I had already done strategy sessions with. So I feel like that just says a lot. You know what I mean? If you can get people to come back for more. I mean, Branda's had retainer clients she's worked with for years.
Yeah, my very first client that I signed, I actually just re-signed with her, or I'm about to. We're finalizing her next kind of contract, but it'll be going into 3+ years now that we've worked together. And even that, but also the referrals too that come from those people who have trusted us and referred us to other people. And I never want to take that for granted. The amount that people have trusted us to stay with us for years, but it's kind of I think we forget about that as businesses. I think that's why the bottom of funnel is so important, because it's I think sometimes we get excited again and we bring someone in, but we're so concerned at the top, bring more people. But there are already people who have said yes and they already do trust you. So what can you do there to keep them around and to make sure they stay invested in you, not only because of the money, great, that's recurring revenue, but also because you don't want to break the trust after they've bought something from you and did trust you and then you don't show up. That's the worst. I think we've all had experiences where we've bought something or invested in someone that we were oh,
yeah.
And then you run the opposite direction. You're I will never buy from that person again or that company or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah,
for sure. So depending on, the type of product you have or whether it's a service, technically Brandon and I both have services, but then we also each have some digital products. So I think we can kind of speak to this from both ways, but no matter what it is that you're selling, whether it be a service or a product, I think everybody can agree that having great customer service is really, really important. So making sure that you're not taking, forever to get back to emails, which is kind of a given, but also making sure that when people do purchase from you, they have an onboarding sort of experience, whether that's an automated like onboarding sequence or you're reaching out to them personally and welcoming them if it's like a higher ticket course or membership or something like that. You also, I would recommend like asking people what they think and asking them for feedback, which can be really scary, I think, from time to time.
Yeah, I think it can be, but even going off of like great customer service, I think sometimes it's how you respond to something, even like negative feedback that can actually still build trust with someone. I know so many instances where people have talked about like they've reached out to someone and been like, this is not what I expected it to be. And if you get like a sassy or like a rude response, you're like, oh, okay. Versus
Sure.
someone is like, hey, let's make this right. Like that's a very different kind of experience. Obviously, another great way to continue to nurture the bottom of the funnel is to just deliver a really stellar product, whether it's big or small. I saw someone talking about this on Threads the other day that's like just a customer that pays $5, a customer that pays 50 and 500, treat them all the same, right? For a lot of reasons. A, because that's just like respectful and you want to make sure that all of your products are good. But B, because again, some people might come in at a $5 price range because again, maybe they don't know you super well. They're trying to establish that trust with you, or maybe that's all they can afford in their budget right now or prioritize in their budget right now. And so if we deliver a stellar experience at every single price range, then we can continue to have people come back for more and push them up to that next price range when they're ready for that. Another great thing to do to kind of nurture the bottom of funnel is optimize your sales pages to make sure that the language is aligned with your ideal audience. And so this is just about bringing in the right fit people, because again, we want to make sure that we're attracting people who are good for that offer so they don't come in and have this negative experience or they feel like we tricked them into buying something that they didn't need or again, wasn't right for them. The next thing is kind of creating that tiered offers, which I talked about a second ago with kind of delivering that stellar product. But tiered offers, that's something I'm actually working on a lot in my business in 2025, is creating some different price points as people can come in to my business at, so that if they need a smaller place to start, they can. And again, make sure that you're delivering at every stage of that tier. Lastly, I think being the biggest hype person for the people who buy from you and become your customers is the number one thing that you can do. Again, we focus so much on bringing new people into our audience like all the time, but how can we reward the people who have shown up for us? How can we hype up the people who do convert to customers? So whether that be hyping them up on social media and like commenting on things, following them, interacting with them, and cultivating that relationship, whether that being sending them little extra goodies. People will do like giveaways in their memberships, right? Or they might send out like a little Christmas gift to their clients, little ways that we can say like, I'm thinking about you and I appreciate you, and showing that appreciation for people who have bought from you, not just new people, right? I think that's something that I really try to prioritize in my business.
Some other things to think about when we're thinking about bottom of the funnel and people who are already customers, in addition to what Branda was just talking about in kind of having like tiered offers, I want you to also start to think about, now that you've maybe been in business for a year or two, try and start to think about like some other ways to create additional income and revenue, but more even importantly, additional ways to serve people who have already raised their hand and say that they trust you. I'm thinking of one particular example. It is a larger course creator who has a pretty prominent course that a lot of people have taken in order to learn how to create courses. Just released, at least I believe it's kind of new, but just released a membership to kind of keep people who have taken her signature flagship course, to keep them accountable. I'm not sure about this, but I think from what I've seen, it seems like kind of a more secret offer, like a next step for people who have already taken the signature course to keep them accountable and keep them moving towards their goals. So that's just kind of like one example of something that you could think about. How can I keep people who have already, said yes to me? How can I keep working with them and making sure that they are accomplishing all of their goals that you're helping them with and the problems that you originally said? One example, like from my own business that I just kind of made up because somebody, I'm not making the example up, but I made the offer up because somebody asked me this year. I did a strategy session back in, I don't know, September or October. After we completed the strategy session, she was like, Melanie, I don't know that I'm actually going to do all this without any type of, accountability. Would you be willing to check in with me once a month? And I didn't have room for any other retainer clients, and she didn't really have the budget to bring me on as an OBM anyway. So we kind of worked something out, which was a monthly check-in where we met once a month for an hour on Zoom. And I helped her to make sure she was making progress towards those goals that we, decided on during her strategy session. 1 hour coaching isn't something that I offer randomly to people I don't know, and I would probably not feel comfortable offering it without having taken a deep dive into her business during the strategy session. But I mean, she asked for help, and it was a sort of easy opportunity for me to make sure that she was actually getting the most out of the strategy session and the goals that we devised for her. So just thinking of different sorts of ideas about how you can give people a next step to continue working with you, it hopefully will come full circle in the way that, it'll help you to increase your revenue with people who already trust you, but also like it'll help them to fully achieve the transformation that they originally started on. Another sort of thing to think about is any type of like discount for returning customers, if that's something you're comfortable with. A loyalty program. Branda is actually Branda, you want to talk about your affiliate program? I feel like you're like sort of referral program. I wouldn't call it an affiliate program, I guess. Is referral more?
Yeah, I do a referral program for my clients where if they refer me to someone, then they make, I think, a pretty nice little chunk of change for that referral. And it's every time someone that they refer books their first project. So that's a great way for your service provider to kind of incentivize referrals. I know some people do even more with their referrals. Like I know there's a girl I follow on Threads. I'd love to learn more about her program because she really like cultivates a community with her referrals. And so it becomes something where they're all kind of referring each other. So anyways, you can get as hands up or like as deep into that as you want. But if you do like more on the e-commerce side, kind of the incentive there is you can do like affiliate type things, right? Where someone can get some sort of payout for sending you to their membership or sending them to your membership rather, or sending them to your, I keep mixing up those pronouns, sending them to your products, right? Or even doing like some sort of loyalty program to reward them. I have a client who built a loyalty program on her website. She uses WordPress and she did hire someone to like set it up for her. But every time someone buys a resource through her website, they earn like little points or like stars, or whatever. And so it's kind of like on TBT where you can turn those loyalty points into cash. They kind of get that same incentive. So I personally love when I shop online and I get loyalty and rewards. I will purposely go back to websites like that rather than buying off of like third-party kind of sites. So obviously a great way to continue to reward and incentivize people for buying from you. And again, it's a great way to say to someone who is continuously buying from you, like, I see you and I appreciate you and thank you, which is always nice.
Just because someone has bought from you doesn't mean that all the hard work is over. You want to deliver a stellar experience that makes them want to tell everyone about it and make them excited to buy from you again, again, and again.
To recap, a couple of action steps you can take from this episode and start to implement in your business. Make sure you evaluate your onboarding processes so that people can come into this new offer or this new product that you have and feel really good about it. And they feel like, again, that they can trust you and that they have an idea of what is the next steps for them. It's just an overall great experience that they go from the sale to being onboarded, that they're not just being dropped off into this product to figure out alone. Ask them for feedback and actually utilize it. This is a great way to not only make improvements to your products and your services and offers so they get better and better, but also help your audience and your customers feel heard. You can create tiered offers or next steps to kind of give people different ways to work with you or different price points to enter into that kind of bottom of funnel. And then lastly, create really stellar experiences across your products. No matter what the price range is, make sure it's a great experience that reinforces the trust that they had that make them buy in the first place so that they become repeat customers over time. If you are interested in getting help with any of these bottom of funnel kind of experiences, I do offer onboarding series or sequences rather for launches. So if you're like, I don't even know what to put in an onboarding series, I don't know what I should be doing for that, I can help you out and help you turn those brand new customers into people who feel really good again about the offer that they've just opted into, and they know how to seek support from you and what to do next.
Thanks so much for joining our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode, please head to your listing app and leave a quick rating and review.
If you're on Instagram, share this episode and tag us at Duxbury Digital and at The Relevant Collective. We'd love to hear from you. We'll meet you back here next Tuesday for more practical strategies to take your business from chaos to conversions.